Hey, this is Dave with the Shepherd School, and what we're going to do today is we're going to make pork belly. Now, pork belly is basically unsmoked bacon, and it's used a lot, in Civil War rations. So a lot of, reenactors carried in their haversacks to eat when they're out doing a reenactment. But it's also a great flavoring agent for things like pork and beans and collards and those sorts of things. And so while we're making some bacon, we're going to cut off some and make some salt pork at the same time. We're going to have to make us some curing salt, and we're going to have to use some nitrates in it. Now, historically, salt pork was made just with a lot of sugar and a lot of salt and kept in barrels coated with the salt, and that inhibited the bacterial growth. Now, we're not going to do that, mostly because of our sodium intakes, and so we're going to have to add something else to keep the botulism spores from growing and making the toxin. So we're going to have to add some nitrates. Now, nitrates are a little toxic in among themselves, and so we want to make sure that we use a good recipe and we don't use any more than necessary. Okay, I have a 4-pound box of canning salt, alright, that I'm going to add, and I also have 2 bags of the nitrate salt. Sometimes it's a little easier, you can buy it in bulk online, but I just went to a local store and got it. Alright, in the bowl I've got 32 ounces of sugar, and I'm going to dump all of my 4 pounds of salt in it, and then I'm going to add my nitrate salts. Now, they call nitrate salts pink salts because they are colored pink to let you know that it's got the nitrates in it, because, as I said before, the nitrates are toxic in large quantities. Now, this is a whole lot of salt, a whole lot of sugar, a whole lot of nitrates, but it's good for 200 pounds of meat, all right? And so I'm only going to use probably about half a cup or so today. So I'm going to stir it all up, get everything mixed good, pull out some to make my salt pork, and the rest is going to go in mason jars that I'm going to store for further use. All right, here's my pork belly. It's about $2 a pound, okay? And it's got some skin on there, and I'm just going to trim the skin off. Got a big skinless hunk here, all right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it up for my bags, because I'm going to put them in these bags to cure. So what I'm going to do is work in one piece at a time. You want to crust on a whole lot of this salt. Okay, so we have our pork belly and our cured mixture in a bag, and because it's going to leak a lot of water, that salt's going to pull moisture out of the meat. I'm going to put it in a separate bag so I don't make a mess, okay? And we're going to keep this in the fridge for about 7 days. We're not going to smoke this because we're making the salt pork, so we're going to let it sit a little longer than we will the bacon, okay? So we're just going to put these 2 bags in a bowl in the fridge, and after it's done curing, we'll show you what it looks like. And the only thing I'm going to do between now and about 7 to 10 days or so is every couple of days I'm going to flip this over to move the juices, right? Because it's going to make a brine in here. All right. So we'll see you in a couple days. Okay, it's been 10 days, and our pork belly it's a lot firmer, it's darker, and it's pulled off a whole lot of juices, okay? And so this pork belly is now salt pork. It's very, very salty. Cut off a test piece and fried it up yesterday, and the wife said it tasted good even though it was salty, so it passed the taste test for us to have in the house, okay? And I'm going to leave it salty because that's helped preserve it, okay? But before you use it, you're going to want to soak it or boil it or otherwise do something to get the salt off of it, okay? So let me pull it out and let you see what it actually looks like. Okay. And it's very, very firm. Feels a lot like uncut bacon, which if I smoked it, that's exactly what it would be. Alright? So I'm just going to vacuum seal this, and it'll store in the fridge, but I'm going to put this big hunk in the freezer, and I'm going to make some baked beans or something with this smaller hunk. Alright? So there you go, and until next time, I appreciate you watching. You can always catch us online, www.tngun.com.